keep it going for Neshama Franklin. Keep clapping. Yeah. Wait, we're about the same height. Okay.
Okay. So it's really nice to get heat when you need it. Especially during last winter, it was cold. And I live in an old farmhouse, and the main source of heat is a wood stove. It's so cute. And I've learned how to wrangle it after 40 years. And if you don't know about these things, they're the pieces of rolled up newspaper like pretzels. You pile them up, and then the slivers of shingle, oh, such good kindling. And then the chunks of wood, and you watch it, and you kind of breathe along with it, and then you can plunk a log on it, and then you can close the door, and you can see the flames behind the smoky glass, and it warms you, and it's beautiful, unless you don't have time to do all that, and it's cold. But in this house was my secret weapon. It was a Wedgwood stove. It had gravitas. It had sloped shoulders. It had a clock that didn't work, but it was there. And it had a heater on one side. So if you were cold and you didn't have time to make a fire, you just turn the dial. Out comes the heat, a blast of glorious, but kind of dusty smelling heat because we didn't use it very much and the grate got kind of dusty. Now, the stove was somewhat problematic. Some people smelled gas. I am not very sensitive. We had it checked out, and he said, oh, it's fine. He was a very eccentric stove fixer. And I lived with a stove for a long time. Now, last winter, which was cold, I had a couple of mysterious dizzy spells, which cleared very fast. I didn't think much about them. But there I was on a very cold morning. I had to be somewhere in 45 minutes. I turned on the heater, and I lay down on my futon with my book. And then I discovered that I was kind of pinioned there, and the dizziness had come back. And for some reason, I thought that I needed a blanket. And it was just like about 3 feet away, and I reached, I thought, but my arm wasn't working. And so my brain by now was a mess. I said, the computer is down, I have to reboot. And I kept reaching for the mouse that didn't exist, and that didn't work. And then on my other hand was a cell phone. But, I'm a real Luddite, and I kept trying to punch the numbers in, and that didn't work. It was just like those dreams I've had over and over and over again. It's on fire, and you're punching the buttons, and you can't make it work. And I thought that it was all over until something saved me with a kind of a mysterious, visceral shove forward, and gravity did the work. I crawled about 10 feet to where the landline was, and I could work the landline no matter how messed up my brain was. Did I call 911? No. I called my cousin, who lives across the driveway, but she's an EMT, and she came rocketing up the stairs, and we got it. We both got it immediately, and she turned off the heater, and she threw up the windows, and she called the ambulance directly, and with oxygen and about 5 minutes, I could sit up, and I could stand, and I could wobble down the stairs and rode over the hill and spent 5 hours in the emergency room clearing my blood from carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, I had called this stove my household god. I loved it so much. I actually cleaned it, and I don't clean things very much, kind of burnishing it. And so I asked the fire department, I said, what's with the stove? And they said, in the old days, houses were porous. Yours is now insulated. Get rid of it. Red tagged. Household god is gone. I don't miss it for a minute. I'd rather be chilly and alive. Thank you.